about what's been happening over at the Super Bowl at halftime, talking about passages and that there was fire and stuff, and how it was all presenting the nuclear war and things like that. So I'm gonna dive right in. I'm not even gonna waste any time. Um, Please keep a friend of mine, Rhonda's daughter, in prayer. She is 32 weeks pregnant and is in the hospital. Pray that she does not have that baby today. My husband also is sick, and there's been a lot of other people that's been needing prayers. So just uplift one another, please. Okay. So all right, just start here. So something just dawned on me, right? So you know how everybody got all this extra stimulus money last year and stuff. Some people didn't, but and people got extra food stamps and things, and how everything ended this year. How just crazy it just abruptly stopped. Um, have you thought that that was their way of telling us to stock up for the collapse of what's to come? Did you know that if Russia invades Ukraine and stuff, it is a matter of time before they hit our power grid? So all this time, all these years that God has been telling us to prepare and to get stocked up on food, ammo, everything, it is for this very time. What we are going through and what we are about to see is just fantastic. So moving along, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Canadian truckers that were at the border, they won, okay, and they was able to get their mandate dropped until the end of February. So what does that mean by picking it back up? Everything in my spirit for all the Bible studies that I've ever said, we are the barley. The barley gets winnowed, means carried away. Okay. The rapture is about to happen, or the taking away. And I said everything, the war, all of it, I believe is going to take place March. I believe that's when everything, like everything, is gonna just happen. So I'm going to read you few articles and some things. So truckers message to America. Okay. We also seen that now that they've done that, they have to wear a mask though to get through. Well, there's three types. I didn't know if you guys knew this. Three types of shipments that come into the United States, and this is why our shipments are delayed. We've got the cargo ships, okay? We've got the Canadian borders. We get shipment that comes from Canada, we get a shipment that comes from Mexico, and we get a shipment that comes from China. China, obviously, we know, has put a massive halt on our stuff. We've got Mexico that we've been dealing with all that stuff. So, hi Kathleen. And so from Canada, the truckers having our shipments and stopping, that's also put a huge damper on us getting our stuff. And what now China owns Walmart. I didn't know if you guys knew that. They are a distributor to Walmart. So you got the Walmart corporate that's owns the business, but China owns them. You see what I'm saying? Because their shipments come from there, just like Wish.com and a lot of other companies, that when you're trying to get stuff, it's taking twice as long to get. Okay, now what I believe, and a lot of people are saying all the other countries have been lifting their mandates. Yes, but nothing's going to go back to normal. It is a way or a release where peace is going to come from the sudden destruction, and then sudden destruction, excuse me. So it says March 1st, 2022. This is a message from the truckers. Please plan ahead and prepare your food pantries, water, gas, and any other needs. These truckers are going to be tied up and want you to be prepared. These truckers are planning to go across country on March 1st to peacefully fight for our freedom, giving you time to prepare your food, water, and fuel sources. They do not want you to think they are attacking the people. These great truckers are fighting for our freedom and health, standing the ground on the front lines for us. They need our full help and cooperation. If you can join, remember to keep it peaceful, as they will make us the enemy. Warning, the shelves may be empty for some time. Think local, buy local, grow local. Thank you to all the truckers, whether you are leading the convoy or keeping the needs of the people stocked. Okay, so that was actually on Truckers of America group. So it's a big deal that you get stocked up. Now, these truckers that's going there, okay, obviously there's been a lot of talk about it, that they're going to help get ours in America, that they're coming over to help us. But you do realize that this is complete distraction, that this is a false flag that is going to come from this. Okay. Because of that, there has also been talk. I don't know if you've ever watched the Grand Supreme News channel, Louis. He's really good and he brings about really good news too. And he's got the article. I do not have the article on me, otherwise I'd be able to present that the banks and stuff will possibly be hit from this, especially when Russia goes to war. Now, I do not believe the war is going to happen like right today. I do believe it is going to happen after the Winter Olympics. Okay. So let's keep pushing forward how all this ties together. All right. So the economic collapse we see that's coming, okay, we got the shipments that's halted, right? So we have right here, which they have warned us, is rampant drug shortages. Okay, right now, and there are shortages of 116 different pharmaceutical drugs in the United States. Okay, and if you depend on a certain pharmaceutical drug in order to stay alive, I recommend doing whatever you can to make sure that you have as much as that drug stockpiled as soon as possible, because the day is coming here real soon when you are going to not be able to get it for an extended period of time, which you have to think all those people who are on oxygen or diabetic, who have seizures, things like that, they're not going to be able to get the medications that they need, especially in an EMP. Now, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have a massive solar flare that's coming that they have been talking about. There's also been disruption on the moon with the China's big rocket, whatever the heck was over in space, blowing up and being in its path of the moon. Now, oh my gosh, there's just so much to talk about. I can't even begin to explain it all. Okay, so moving along, as the U.S. defense establishes growth, increasingly concerned about China's potential hostile ambitions, the pharmaceutical supply chain is reviewing new scrutiny. If China shut the door on exports of medicines and their key ingredients and raw material, U.S. hospitals and military hospitals and clinics would cease to function within months, if not days. That's pretty scary to think about. Now, also, we have to know this. We have 76% of the Americans have taken the juice. Okay. Crude oil is now at 95 a barrel, and they are talking about it going up an additional $20. That is greatly going to collapse the economy, especially because Russia owns our pipelines. Okay, and remember when Trump was in office, what happened? He did warp speed, meaning that he was able to bypass all of these trials to get this cure for the juice out faster. And because of that, it is annihilating people due to being a depopulant, as there are 3 types of juice that's out there. Cancer causing, all DNA altering, and excuse me, what's the other one? Cancer altering, or changes your DNA, and the blood clots with the bleeding. And no matter who has taken it, they will all have the exact effects within 2 years. So now this, okay, Canada with these truckers, it has spread over into Alaska, and they're bringing it over to America. So the deadline, okay, why I know that this is just a temporary halt or whatever it's going to be when crap's going to hit the fan. There are 3 different phases of people, of groups that have to have had the juice. There's group 1, which has several different states with it. Group 2, many different states, including my state, and then there's Texas all on its own. January 27th, 2022 was the phase 1 deadline. Phase 2 is February 28th. Group 2, February 14th through March 15th. Now, Texas, February 22nd to March 21st. All of them have to be in compliance to 80%, businesses and everything. That you will not be able to, you're going to suffer severely for these consequences of not having the juice. These are the absolute deadlines for having it done for these companies. March 21st, we have around the timing of Purim, the barley harvest, and Israel becoming, it's their new year. And then you also have it being the spring solstice. All right, moving on. Food prices are rising along with gas and state taxes. The meat bins in our stores, which have been terrible. The ones that do not have beef are wanting higher money, and they're willing to pay. Nations continue to mass troops and gear in Eastern Europe. So crap is about to hit the fan, and it's going to affect us in many, many ways. Okay, and those who have better wealth have better enjoy it, because it's getting ready to be gone. Remember how they say that you can throw your gold and silver in the street and it's going to mean nothing. Okay, Revelation 3, or not 3, 6, where it says a penny as a day's wages of bread. I got my Bible sitting next to me. I don't have that verse completely memorized. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So going back, I know I'm jumping back and forth a hair, but going back to the coming, okay, the space, the rocket that's launched, they say February 20th is when it's going to be able to be exploded, or they're going to be able to explain it, whatever the heck happened, which I don't see how they're going to have a date on it, but we never know. So it says breaking news coming out of 49 SpaceX satellites wiped out of the orbit from the solar storm headed to Earth. That's due to arrive today or tomorrow. 40 so-called satellites are either already coming in the atmosphere or burnt up or are on their way down. The truth is, when I saw this article, it made me feel that they're covering up Planet X system asteroid debris, which is starting to slowly come in, like the big asteroid pieces. And I'm going to be showing you in a few minutes that burnt up over Mexico 2 days ago. I'm feeling, some satellites, but there's also a cover-up story for the asteroid debris that's really coming in now. As I said, a time comes when Christians are going to be caught out of here, the catching away harpazo, or the blessed hope, then millions of asteroids will start falling, which obviously we've seen, because that is going to be at the timing when Satan gets thrown down from heaven and he gets his glorious thing. Now, their satellites only weigh less than 575 pounds. Okay, so be alert, because crap's about to hit the fan, and they have been trying to show us, even in movies, Moonfall, what's the other one? It was, everyone was talking about it, and I just seen it too, about the big asteroid that came in. Leonardo DiCaprio played in it. Darn it. I'm having a brain fart right now. Somebody in my comment section will know it, and then I'll be able to see it, or see it. I just seen it too. So there's been, anyways, the whole point, there is a lot of movies that are predictive programming stating of what is about to happen. Don't look up. Thank you, ladies. Yes, don't look up. And which is crazy. Okay, so now we have the Black Sea, which is now closed. Okay, as Ukraine declared it a danger zone. Birds fall dead from the sky in Wales. Okay, there has been so much going on over in the Russia-Ukraine area. If we know that NATO is America, but if NATO's teaming up with Russia and stuff, guys, we're going to be obliterated. And in order for the Antichrist to rise, and in order for all the takeovers supposed to happen and Israel to be surrounded, Babylon has to fall. Babylon has to be out of the way. And we are getting ready to be that. Now, what I think is amazing, which confirms this, and then I'm going to briefly talk about something. The other day, my husband and I was actually at the junkyard. Weird encounter, okay? And I saw a peacock, just randomly, a peacock just walking randomly at a junkyard. I thought it was hilarious. Like, what the? Well, now, I did not know that these peacocks represent Christ's resurrection, okay? And so when King Solomon acquires the wealth of Tarshish, gold, silver, ivory, apes, and peacocks. Whoa. But it gets better. While I was there, I found out that they were bought and brought there, and it's the owner's peacock. He doesn't have one, but he has 12. 12. 12, 12, 12. 12 disciples, 12 tribes, so on and so forth. Okay. Now, I'm trying to think. Monday after these Olympics, we should know. And I believe the war will pop off Monday after everything. Now, what makes this great, a few years ago, I know I bring this up almost in every video, but it's so important. The 20th, February 20th is my daughter's 14th birthday. 14. 14 is very significant. I had that dream of Leo the lion, and on his bottom right foot, he had the number 14 in the constellation circled. I believe we will be in war, and what's going to happen with the truckers and everything being stagnant, that all of this is made to collapse the economy all at once. It's going to happen within a month's worth of timing, and it's going to be bam. Okay, so I'm going to read you January 21st dream that I had, and then I'm going to stop. I don't have to read it all because it's actually on the thing. I guess I could leave my link. But this just ties everything that's happening now. I dreamt about every single bit of this. This was January 21st. You guys can see, I'm not making it up, of 2016. Had the most real dream I could have possibly had that was prophetic. I'm trying to recover from it. We lost power all over the United States. I saw these military men having guns, not letting anyone go through or leave your place. It was in the middle of winter. I had to find my daughter, and I don't know where she was, but around midnight, I snuck out with my son. I grabbed my black jacket and son's gloves, blue camo coat, and his blue baby blanket. He took off his coat and said, I said, got to put it back on. And just as he did, this train came out of nowhere and picked us up. And I asked, where are we going? They said to get help. But before the train stopped, there was a guy standing on the steps. He was a young Indian looking, black hair, brown eyes, about my height. The door was open, and I told myself I have to get off this train. So this is a very long dream, so I'm not going to read it all, but I just wanted to tell you. And then actually skimming down, we get in this building, and what I thought was pretty fascinating with this whole flu and these different variants happening. I dreamt of it and didn't know. Okay, there was quite a few people in there, but they were naked or had no underwear on, and I was like, what's going on? They all looked like bums. I ended up finding some water shared in a bathtub, and it was an oval-shaped tub, like the old-fashioned kind, like the clawfoot, but it was on top of a bed. These women walked in, and as I was scrubbing his feet, and said sternly, what's your illness? What's your emergency? He said he has a lung disease from our bird. A lung disease from a bird. Remember how the swine flu came from birds, or the whatever that stuff, radiation, and the birds started falling out from the sky? Yeah. So there you go. There you have it right there. And then it ties in what is happening now. Lung disease. Yes. And then we also have the C19 that's been out. Okay. So now here's another one, which is I'm going to read to a certain part. With Russia, China, NATO, Taiwan and Ukraine, all that tied in to this war. Guys, this isn't just rumors of wars. This is the actual war we've all been waiting on. Um, because this war is for America. And you got to think we have hundreds of thousands of troops that's over there, right? And actually, the Ukraine, he told them to evacuate the out of there. And as of today, they're doing drills on their borders and stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot of that. So on February 15th of 2016, I gotta tell you this dream I had. Okay, I'm good. I saw a white shining robe with a gold trim around the waist as the tie hung down over the sides, and it looked more like it was a stripe than a tie, and it was very shiny. So was the white. It almost looked like it was ivory. He had white hair and a white beard, very well taken care of. I saw eyebrows were golden. His robe he was wearing was long sleeves. He was standing in the red room that I cannot explain, but it looked like wool or carpeting padded walls. There was an arc in the doorway which was divided by curtains. On the right, I saw a lion/bull of some sort that was hanging on the wall. It had some type of bronze come out of its nose. The mouth seemed to look open and it fell apart. I saw fire come out. The man disappeared from the room, and I knew it was Jesus. He was so calm and showed me these things. This room disappeared, and I saw in big silver letters, NATO bombing. I saw a stage that had dancers on it, probably the Grammys, which, thinking about it, it could have been the Olympics. But this dream gets better. I took the microphone, okay, and started speaking to the crowd, beware of the enemy. He comes to devour. I remember saying the rapture, Russia invasion. Right there, Russia invasion. This was in 2016 I had this dream. There was a lot more in it, but don't remember it all. I saw in the middle of everything, there was a cloud that bursted from the ground up. It was reddish smoke that shot up at the top, and it T'd like this, made like the small letter T, and I saw and I heard a train. Okay? And I remember going from place to place that I had these heart-shaped candies, almost like Valentine's candy. They were Valentine candy, but on these candies, it said, Jesus, end times, love, and so on. So, and the dream just keeps going and going and going. So it's just amazing. So I've had so many dreams and encounters to confirm that we are finally here, guys. We are finally here. Now, not just conspiracy, but we've already had threats at our borders, especially from China or North Korea, that they have enough firepower to be able to annihilate us and reach us. Okay, so gonna read you this. This one is a smaller dream, and this was December 6th of 2015. I dreamt this. Saw the kingdom. I went there. Jesus sat on the throne, came walking to me, and gave me a crinkled piece of paper that said, "I'm ready." I took it, and he had me on his left side and walked down a few steps to the end where people were on the side. He showed me a door, and I opened it, and it was white, then all black. I then saw the constellation of the woman. I saw Revelation 12, okay? The woman of Revelation 12. Then I saw nothing for a while, and I was confused. I saw Jesus stick his tongue out, and it became a sword. It was a sword to the kingdom, but it was also a road, and it was golden brown. I saw missiles hit the east coast, then the middle coast, then the east coast, then west, then south, and then nothing. And then I saw a cross in the middle being knocked down and wrapped in the Pope's clothing, and it stood up. I started tearing up, and I saw a coin, which was an Indian-looking dude, then had a sword that turned into Jesus, hitting everywhere, had nets that were dropping, capturing groups of people, like these nets just kept dropping. And guess what? I saw the words, Russia and China, and I saw an island, and I was safe. No one was there, and that's when it ended. I just gotta say, it's just confirmation, guys. We are here. There is literally nothing. Like, here's another long dream, which I'm not going to read. I'm just going to read you that part, which is February 21st of 2016. I rowed to shore, and I saw As I got out of the boat, I ran and watched everyone panic and say, they are bombing us. NATO's taking over. Hundreds of these bomb things went off in the air and they sounded like firecrackers, but I knew they were missiles. Now would be the time to get right with Jesus Christ. 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4, the gospel, can't add to it, can't take it away. The death, the burial, the resurrection. There's a whole lot more we could all be talking about. So I know that crap is about to hit the fan, and there's not going to be many more of these communications and videos and things that we're going to be able to speak to people. The news is coming in, even though it's silent, and that is the point. Okay, with this distraction, mind you, of shortages, okay, for a direct attack on America, because we will not be surrounded. We've already got Yellowstone that's going off. We've had massive earthquakes in various places. There's just been so much stuff going on. It's just hard to explain it all. If you can't see the signs, you're probably not going to until after we leave. And they've been doing transhumanism. And I know a lot of people have seen about that and heard about that. They've also done, they've been doing cloning. We've seen that, and I'm sure you guys seen at the Super Bowl how they look like clones, as everyone pretty much is. So just precaution, guys. Be ready, because we are getting ready to go to war, and it's not just a war that's going to impact us, but it's going to impact the world. Okay, all these other little events that's happening is trying to take your eyes off what's actually happening. Stay awake, stay alert, stay in prayer. God bless.